Hey, for our next example, let's head over onto the data sheet here. And so here's a more realistic data set, right? We've got sales transaction history, and this data set is control down arrow. Oh, we've got 200 transactions in here. And so we've got things like the payment method, right? The region, the price that it was sold, the number of units that we sold, the amount of the transaction, the product that was sold, the age of the customer, and a satisfaction score here, some kind of post survey that we had them do. And so, hey, so here's some great information and something that we might want to do in statistics. Right? We might want to know about the frequency of this customer age. Right? We might say, hey, so what are the number of transactions that we had based on customer age? And so let's do that. Let's make ourselves a pivot table. We'll do it on a new sheet this time. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go click inside of the proper data set, say insert, and create a pivot table on a new sheet. So I'll just go OK. And we'll head over here onto this new sheet here. And I'll go ahead and name this frequency by age, right? By age. And so here we go. We've got all of our fields right here, right? All of the fields in our data set. And what I'm interested in here is customer age. So I'll drag customer age down to rows. And so, of course, I get a unique list of all of the ages in that data set. And so our youngest person is 18 and our oldest person is 69. So what we want to do is we want to group these now. We want to usefully group these so that we can make a histogram, right, and see the distribution of purchases by age. So I'm going to go ahead and right click anywhere in this and come down to group. And it's going to say, hey, you're starting at 18, you're going up to 69. Should we go by 10? Well, that's not going to divide in there evenly by 10. So I'm going to take a guess here and say like maybe 7 or 8 groups. And so let's try 7 groups and I'll say, okay. And so let's see here. So we start at 18, that's good. With 7, but then we go up to 73, and I think our highest age was actually like 68 or 69, right? So that's not quite right. So what we can do is we can bump this 18 down to maybe 17 or 16. Let's try 16. We'll go 16 and see where that takes us to. So I'm going to go right click and group again and say, hey, let's make that minimum 16, and let's try that. And I'll say, okay. And so there we go. So we're 16 to 71, and that's pretty good. Okay, so that way we've got, this is 2 years younger than our actual lowest one, and this is 2 years older than our actual highest one. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for making a nice even histogram out of that. And so now the next thing we want to do is we want to know the frequency with which these are occurring, right? Because this is already grouped, we should get a count as I do this. This is a numeric field. This would sum this if it was ungrouped, but because it's grouped, it's going to give us our nice count. So I'm going to go customer age and drag that down to values. And there we go. All right, so we've got our frequency of customer age, and so I'm going to go ahead and rename that frequency, right? Frequency there. And so there we go. That is a nice frequency distribution in those. And now let's go ahead and make our chart. So I'll come in here anywhere inside of this and say insert, and let's go ahead and make our bar chart here. Okay, there's our bar chart right there. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this here, the field list. We don't need that anymore. And let's go ahead and clean this chart up and make it into a nice histogram. So first off, I'm going to get rid of this unnecessary legend. And then I'm going to double click to modify these. I'll come in and do the data series, gap width, take that to 0. Okay. Then I need to add borders to that, right? I'm going to come over into here and say, hey, border, solid line, and make that black. Click away, and now we've got this. We've got these nice borders on our histogram there, okay, showing that. And then I should put a label over here. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to add in the axis title there, and at least this side one, which would be the frequency, right? So I'll come in here and say equals and set that to the frequency there, and then I didn't fix my row label there, so I'm going to click into that and go design, report layout, and tabular. And then we can put down here, we'll go with customer age for that one, equals customer age. And now let's fix this title. And in here, I'm going to come in here and we will call this the amount of sales by age, right? Most people would spell that differently. Okay, by age. All right. So hey, there we have it. Here is our histogram of sales frequency by customer age. Really cool chart, and so oh hey, so something I forgot to mention here. Hey, look at this. So something that happened differently here. Okay, so you notice when we did the grade data over here, we had to go through and we had to replace the hyphen with up to in here, and we used, remember to do that, we used our home, find, select, replace, and we did that. We replaced the dash with space, up to, and space, and we did that because this was ambiguous. 10 and 10 and 20 and 20 in the same line. Where did the 20 fall? Well, we said the 20 fell in the one before, so 10 up to 20, and then anything above 20, even 20.000001 would go into the next one. So we had to fix that. Now over here, it didn't do that, okay? 39 is here, or 29 is here, but then it starts at 30 here, 36, 37 down here, 50 here, 51 there. So why is that fixed? It's because if we go back over here, what we're going to see is that these are whole numbers. They're integers, okay? And these ones over here were decimals, okay? And so the decimals force this thing into the dash to be ambiguous. And so if we have decimals, we have to do this find and replace thing to fix it. But if the data we're working with are integers, then, and there's no decimals in that, then we are good to go, and it will come through like this, and it'll be nice and clean and unambiguous, and we don't have to take that extra step. Okay, so hey, I'll see you in the next video.